What's up, guys? TD here, bringing you our duo guide for Majordomo Staghelm in Firelands 10-man. This guy is as big of a jerk now as he was back in Darnassus. We had a bit of trouble with this fight due to the fact that the mechanics are a bit weird with only two people, because he's supposed to have different forms that you can force him to switch in depending on different situations, and being that there's only two of us, he pretty much just stayed in cat form the whole time. So when you start the fight, he pops into cat form and he will periodically do leaping flames, which he'll jump at the other person, or you if you happen to be doing it by yourself, cause pulsing fire on the ground and also spawning a spirit of flame. Now, the problem with this is that as he continues to do leaping flames, his energy regeneration gets faster and faster and faster and faster until he's doing it just about every second, and it can quickly become quite overwhelming. So what we try to do with this is, yes, I am backpedaling like crazy. Actually found that it was the easiest way to help mitigate some of the damage and stay out of the flames at the same time. So when we start out the fight, we focus as much on him as we can, blow all our cooldowns, because it's the only part of the fight where you can really just stand and move slowly and get a lot of damage in before he starts leaping like crazy. So you get most of your damage in from the start of the fight, and then I pretty much just circle around the whole platform, taking down the spirits of flame as they spawn and trying to thin them out as they spawn extremely fast. And I try to get some damage in on Staghelm when I can, but with the number of flames, that spirit of flames that he summons, I really don't have much time to do it. So Corvina ends up doing most of the damage to Majordomo, and as I'm moving around the platform, so is she. That way we can stay on top of him and keep all the flames kind of in a row so we don't overlap each other, and makes it a little bit easier. And a lot of this fight is just going to be trying to keep these spirits of flame down, trying to keep yourself alive. These flames hurt really hard. When we tried this fight several times, and on the attempts that we failed, I usually had at least 20 of the spirits up. And when they'd kill me off and turn to Corvina, it was instant death because they did so much damage. And you'll see several times here where I dip quite low due to the amount of damage that they can do. So I really just try to keep their numbers down as much as I can, drop death and decay in front of them so they walk over top of it, and take some extra damage from that, using all the abilities that I can to try to take them. They don't have a ton of health. They have about 250,000, which for most people at level 90 should only be a few hits. It's just the sheer number of them that spawn that really makes them tough. So that's what we found to be the best strategy, and I try to save all my defensive cooldowns as much as I can, because you can see towards the end of the fight you get a lot of cats, and if you don't get lucky with parry and dodges, you can spike and take a ton of damage out of nowhere. And I'm doing this in a total DPS set. I did pretty much all of Firelands in a DPS set so that we could have the extra damage. And in most fights, it's really not necessary to have great tanking stats, because I think this was the hardest fight in this raid, even harder than Ragnaros. And especially as far as just pure damage I took. But I've found this to be the best way to do it, and it worked out well for us. We actually the time before this, we got him down to 1%, and I took one of those spike damages where I was almost completely full, and they all just happened to hit me at once, no parries or dodges, and killed me outright, and he was at 1%. So there is a bit of luck in there, but definitely save all your defensive cooldowns so that if you have that happen, because I had that happen to me at the end of this fight, or close to the end, where I took a lot of damage pretty quick, and I had to hit Icebound Fortitude, hit my Vampiric Blood, and use my pet sacrifice to get a big heal on myself so that I didn't die and I could stay alive long enough to finish off Majordomo. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, please give it a like, leave a comment below, and I will be posting the final boss Ragnaros in just a few days here.